before I freeze, this is DJ Freestyle. This is episode 9 for Ask a Teacher show. We have special guests today, Mr. Luhring, DJ PE Style.
PE Style.
And his wonderful daughter, Rylie. Rylie, do you have a DJ name?
No, I didn't think of one. I was trying to all week, though.
DJ Griffey.
That works.
And then, of course, wonderful co-host, DJ Wavy Stardust.
No, I changed it. Spirit Fingers. Simmons had that suggestion, and it's way more fitting.
And easier to
remember if you remember that one.
And easier, yeah. My first name was horrible. Anyway. All right. This week, so we're going to chat about what's coming up at school and what's been in the news. The news has been big in the last, week or so. So we're going to do a little bit of chatting about the news, and then it'll be a wrap. We're getting down there towards the end of the school year. So that is crazy train. I can't even believe that it's June. Is Jeff already frozen, or is he holding that face?
He's holding that face. I think.
You'll know when I'm frozen. Come on.
That was a great freeze. Do you want to see what your freeze face was? Are you frozen again? You were like this.
I probably was frozen then.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay.
All right, so let's talk about what's coming up at school. So next week is Spirit Week. Oh, I can't even handle this. Is he really freezing again?
Am I freezing again?
Yes, you are.
Just looking at the screen. How about just this?
It looks like a mugshot, Jeff.
Oh, I haven't had to take one of those, and I hope to never have to take one.
Hey, I'm kind of curious. Who are the pictures behind you?
Oh, there's my niece and nephew.
Oh, okay. Because that shelf, it looks like some cute kids back there or something.
Elf on the Shelf.
I like it.
And then there's this cute one. I like this one a lot.
Oh, you're frozen.
Again.
Go figure.
The reception out in space is much better. We don't freeze out in space.
I know. It's those independently funded spaceships. They have great Wi-Fi.
Oh, yeah. It's the satellites.
Priorities. Okay, so what's going on in school this week or next week? Let's talk about next week. So next week is going to be the last week of really kind of that heavy learning. Because, last week of school, it's about collecting things and making sure we're all squared away and making sure grades are good to go, because you are getting a grade. So making sure that your grades are good to go. But next week, last week of heavy duty learning. And then Spirit Week. We have Spirit Week coming up. So in the Student Life Group classroom on social media, I'll be posting the Spirit Days, the Spirit Fingers with Spirit Days. So I'm excited about that. And then there'll be some ways students can submit some videos and things for our virtual Spirit Assembly, which will take place on Friday. So pretty much the same as what we did before, except instead of a document, I use Google Slides. So you get to flip through the slides to see what's going on each day. I think it'll be
Beautiful.
Better. I still
you were so organized.
Well, I still haven't mastered this online Spirit school activities thing. I would like to think that I'm getting good at it, but I actually don't think I am. So this summer I'm going to do some research, figure out.
Yeah, you're going to take the time off and enjoy.
Well, maybe a little. Although it's kind of sad because I'm not going anywhere this summer, but whatever. Okay, so that's what's coming up next week. Anything else you guys can think of? Oh,
DJ Freeze.
Yeah, DJ Freestyle over there. I was going to have him talk about, oh, now he's moving. Listen, do you want to talk about student drop-off?
Oh, student drop-off.
No, don't drop the students off, but
Yeah, students can, 6th graders, you guys are going to be able to pick up your stuff next Thursday in the afternoon. You'll get more information about that. And 7th and 8th graders, you'll be able to pick up your stuff from school on Friday. More information to come.
Yes. So check your email. Make sure you're looking at that. A lot of you have been asking how you can get stuff out of your lockers or get your art projects. That's the time to come get all of that stuff. So if you have things at school you need, that's the time.
This includes turning back in library books. Does this include technology, Chromebooks, or not?
No, not right now, because maybe they still need them. I don't think it does anyway.
Okay.
Maybe don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't.
I'm sure it will be in the letter, but
yeah.
band instruments, uniforms. If you still have them, you shouldn't have them, but if you still have a uniform, turn your uniforms in.
Yeah. Or if you like smuggled a book out of my classroom and borrowed it without me knowing and you just want to give it back, this is a great time. I'll never even know it was you that had it. It'll just get put in a box. So drop off. I didn't mean drop the students off. I meant they can drop their stuff off and pick up their stuff. So hopefully we'll see students then. And then just one quick push for the last week of school. We have 8th grade taking flight week is going to be that very last week of school. So each day we're going to be rolling out something new to honor our 8th graders because we are really going to miss them. And we got a surprise coming your way, 8th grade.
Oh, fun time.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. So we're looking forward to that last week of school. Anything else? Anything I'm missing?
Well, there's a space station.
We'll be back soon. We're almost home. T-minus 4 minutes.
Yeah, that launch was amazing. Speaking of the news, thoughts on that? I have lots of thoughts.
Kids are always asking me how old I am, and I will never tell them. But if they can be smart enough to figure it out, I was born, and the very next day, Neil Armstrong stepped on the moon.
Oh.
And now we've sent someone else into space again last week. So that's why we're starting out in space today. I got to sit on my mom's lap at age 1 day and watch the moon landing. I remember it.
So your birthday was the day before or the day after?
The day before, because I saw it. If it was the day after, I wouldn't have seen it.
That's why I was confused. Yeah.
Here's a trivia question. How many people have been on the moon?
6. There's been 6 Apollo missions. I'm assuming that there's been 6 people, or 6 missions, so however many astronauts were on the moon.
Rylie was like, boom!
I know. I'm gonna fact check that, though. I'm not sure she's right.
Well, we did space trivia at our Girl Scout trivia night, and one of the questions was how many Apollo missions? And the answer was 6. So
Give you a hint. Yes, you're really close.
Do you know it? Listen to
Yeah, it's my favorite number.
12.
Yep.
Yes!
Got it. Rylie, nice job.
So 2 people per mission then?
Well, like the first mission had 3 people, and 2 of them touched down on the moon.
Yeah, I was gonna say only 2 touched down the first one, so 1 stayed back in the module.
Yeah.
That's cool. That is cool trivia. I like that. And Rylie, I'm impressed. I am the worst at trivia because I have a terrible memory for facts. You can even ask my son, who I'm currently relearning my 6s and multiplication because that's what he's learning at school right now. And he was better at it than me in about 15 minutes. So there you go.
Way to go, Parks.
Yeah, well, All right. So other thing in the news this week, kind of a modern thing going on that I'm not so excited about. All the kind of race tensions that are going on in our country. Definitely been thinking about my students and thinking about just how hard that has been to process, and especially our students of color at Lake Ridge. Like, we love all of our students and value everyone, and it's definitely been hard not to be with them and be able to validate that in person and to support them in person. So if you are watching, all students, but especially our students of color, like, we are thinking of you right now, and we care about you, and our hearts are with you. So if you need anything, your teachers are here for you, or just sounds really terrible, but an email away. So yeah, I don't know. Anybody else want to add to that?
Just crazy times right now, but we will pull through and come together.
Yeah, definitely. We feel proud to have a school where everybody belongs, and the staff are really committed to making sure that we can be our best selves for you and make sure that we are truly providing that kind of school for you. So we're digging in and doing hard work for you because we care about you and we care about this country, and we definitely want to see everybody be able to have the same level of opportunity. So yeah, I think that's like a little bit heartbreaking, but through heartbreak, we can grow and become stronger, and that's definitely what we're going to work on. All right.
Space station.
I wonder if I should splice in like a video of the launch for people who didn't see it, because it was really amazing.
Oh, that'd be cool.
thing was cruising.
Yeah. I had no idea. Well, okay. I feel like every time we film one of these shows, I look dumber. But when I was watching, did you notice in the bottom left-hand side of the screen, it showed how fast it was going?
Oh my gosh.
But
Like 6 miles in under a minute.
Yes, but it was not in miles on the screen.
It was kilometers per hour.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
like 22,000.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh my gosh. And my husband's like, I don't think you understand. And then he pointed out that it was not in miles per hour. And I was like, oh yeah, that's still amazing though.
But it's still very fast.
Yeah, it's still very fast. But I was like, oh yeah, I should pay attention to details. Again, there's that detail oriented thing.
Well, because in Canada, you can go 90 kilometers per hour.
Yes.
But they weren't even going 90. They were going 22,000 kilometers per hour.
Yeah. How do you even process that number? I don't even know in relation to speed. So yeah, I just thought it was really interesting. I'm trying to think of like what, did you see that it was a dragon that they had on board, but I actually think it was a dinosaur.
It was a dinosaur. It was so the name was Tremor. I watched videos when they docked, but then also they did like a media thing when they were actually flying to the space station. And they said that both of their sons love dinosaurs, so they collected all the dinosaur stuffed animals from their houses, and they had their sons pick a dinosaur to take up with them.
I love that. I thought it was supposed to be for Dragon X. I was like, did they take a dinosaur and try to make that a dragon? I was like, no, I wasn't buying it. But that is an awesome reason.
Yeah.
It'd be super cool to be a kid and be like, my dinosaur went to space.
Yeah. Or to see it. There it is. It's
Yeah. I like how at one point as they were reaching like their max altitude, they have this video and the dinosaur just like floats across the screen. You're like, oh, there he is. Yeah, that's funny. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
They've baked cookies in space.
Who has?
Not Girl Scout cookies though, Rylie.
No.
And not oatmeal.
No.
They said they bake them between 2 sheets of tinfoil.
How?
In a little microwave oven that they created. It's kind of interesting. That just came out yesterday, I think.
Okay, I'm going to have to go binge some space YouTube videos because clearly there's a lot of things that I need to learn about this.
So it's these hotel cookies. Do you remember which hotel it is, DJPE?
I have no idea.
And they brought I think 24 of them up to space, and they cooked the batch, and it took them way longer than they expected. Well, they ended up they were done, and so then they asked the astronauts if they wanted to eat them. You know, the astronauts are making them. They're like, I'm not eating this thing. But they sent them also back down too, so they can do research on the cookies. Yeah. So.
Well, they never did cookies for the longest time because all the teeny pieces can float onto the electronics and stuff. And, like they break off and whatnot.
Mm.
Like after they're baked, the crumbs or whatever?
Yeah, all the crumbs and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
Yeah.
You know what that reminds me of? You know, when you're cooking something, you're like, oh my gosh, this is taking forever. And then it actually doesn't really work out. So you put all this time in it. Have you ever tried to make one of those campfire popcorns that actually say do not cook over live or like open fire? And you have to shake them and then the big foil bubble pops out. That's what it reminds me of because it takes forever and then it's always burnt and nobody can eat it. We did make one on our stove. Parks got one for Easter. Our Easter bunny's very creative, especially this year. And he brought one of those. And we did make it over our oven. Like we have a gas stovetop. And it was perfect. We ate it. It was great. It was the only one I've ever had in my whole life that wasn't burnt.
You know, speaking of the Easter bunny, years ago, the Tooth Fairy bought Girl Scout cookies. It was super sweet. She said, with her tooth, there was a note that said, and I'm also selling Girl Scout cookies. And the Tooth Fairy says, great, I'll take a box of tagalongs. Yeah. And so there was an extra $4 under her pillow. And then the Tooth Fairy got a box of tagalongs. It was pretty cool.
That's amazing.
$4 cookies.
Yeah, it was when they were $4.
Rylie, you really know how to hustle some cookies. You
yeah.
Tooth Fairy buying them.
Yep.
I know, like we were talking earlier before we started that you want to go into like science fields. That's what you're interested in for school because Rylie graduates next year. Woot woot. Awesome.
Yeah.
Class of 2021.
Yeah.
But maybe you should think about sales.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
Biomedical sales.
Or maybe she'll be an astronaut and take cookies into space.
Yeah, you should do that. And then they don't have to bake them because they'll just already be done. And everybody knows, like, you can't ever beat grandma's cookies and you can never beat Girl Scout cookies. So why even try? Space cookies don't have anything on grandma and the Girl Scouts.
Do you think astronauts, like, what do they do when they have like a tooth pain in space?
Suck it up. I mean,
Maybe they don't send them up if they have anything, close to being a problem.
Mm.
They get their teeth checked.
Yes, they probably check everything because if you think about it, if you go into places where the pressure could affect like an open cavity or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking of like scuba diving and when you go underwater and the pressure kind of gets to you.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm sure they're in pretty good health if they're going off into space.
I would imagine. I'd imagine those. I was looking at them as they were like in their like space seats, which they were kind of molded around their bodies, right? Like they came in a little bit, and I was looking at how much pressure there would be on your body. I know that the cabin's pressurized and stuff, but still, like the amount of force that had to been pushing them back as they were going upwards.
Well, they got to about 3 Gs. So.
Because why wouldn't you know that? Yeah. For sure. Very cool though, but I can't imagine having that like amount of pressure. And then the stress of it. I was stressed just watching it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like holding my breath a little bit when they first went off. I wasn't as nervous about them landing for some reason, but when they launched, I was nervous.
I was just nervous because I had watched Wednesdays. So as it got down to like 10-minute mark, I was like, okay, I'm hoping they can get it off.
Oh, yeah, because they ended up having to postpone. I also tried to watch Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool deal. All right. Well, Luhring family.
We're about ready to land. Should we land?
Yeah, you should land. And then I heard you were taking us on a little field trip.
Yeah, we are. Well, 3, 2, 1, boom. Oh, we're back. We've made it. It's springtime and, as the baseball coach and season ticket holder, and we got Griffey and Mr. Lazinski is wearing Griffey. We decided we would head back and land at Safeco Field since it's, almost summertime and we are all missing being outside and going places like Mariners games and Sounders games and all the fun things we get to do. Maybe we can just kind of visualize it a little bit and see that, baseball is hopefully close around the corner for everybody.
Yeah.
Is that Seager up to bat?
I can't tell who's up to bat.
On the big screen.
It looks like it. It looks like it.
Okay.
It looks like him.
So I'm calling your bluff, you guys. Prove it. You both have Griffey jerseys on? Let's see it. Oh, there it is. DJ Griffey, number 24.
Oh! Yeah.
Wait, they're both the old school yellow ones.
Yeah, you have the HOF patch, right?
No, this is a free one that
that's
an actual jersey.
I've been part of that. Thank you, DJ PE.
Yeah, they're good times. I've got some stuff from that. I got the long haired hat.
Lots of bobbleheads.
Oh, yes.
Oh, man. We should have done a baseball spirit day next week or a sports spirit day. That is not what ASB picked. I did not.
We've done sports days before, though, so it's okay to mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, and there might be one that you could fudge to make it a sports day. Kids get creative, and actually they just do what they want. So, if there's one you don't like, make it a sports day. I'm cool with that. Whatever. All right. Favorite Mariners player of all time?
Easy. Ken Griffey, the kid. Because I kind of grew up the same age as him. I was amazing as I'm older than Mr. Lazinski, but Griffey and I were pretty close. And when he was going through and becoming a pro, I was like, that was right in my wheelhouse of me being a same age, thinking, wow, this guy's so much better than what I am. And just to see the amazing things that he did, it was cool.
Same with you, Lazinski?
Yeah, I agree. He was a phenomenal defensive player. He gets credit for his bat. And if you're not a Mariner fan, that's what they know him as. But the guy was sensational in the outfield. He was fantastic. I really like Mike Cameron, too, because of his defense. But Ken Griffey just through and through. He's what pretty much kept the Mariners in Seattle.
Well, and Griffey wasn't afraid to put his body in harm's way to, make a play, where some guys kind of hold up to, well, if I do this, I might get hurt. So maybe I should take it easy and not crash into the wall and break my wrist and things like that.
I have to say, I do love Griffey. That's like kind of the era where I learned to love baseball. But I think I'm a big Edgar fan.
That's who I was gonna say.
Yeah, I don't know. I really love Edgar Martinez. I think that he's just such a great role model and like also an amazing player. He's one of my faves. I don't know.
Fantastic coach.
Yeah. Just like an all-around great guy.
Same place for his entire career, kind of like a Tony Gwynn.
Yeah.
Don't see that anymore. So that was kind of cool about Edgar. Edgar was blue collar. He would just not about the show and not about the spotlight, but just go and do your job.
Yeah, for sure. He's amazing.
Supposedly Edgar, so I went to Central and in Ellensburg, and supposedly Edgar had a house outside of town. Well, we looked him up in the phone book. Yeah, you had to look things up in a phone book, and we found him. It wasn't that hard. There's only like 7 pages. And we would call his phone number, 509, whatever. We'd call, he had 2 numbers, like 2 landline numbers. We'd call him and didn't even go to voicemail. Never picked up for me.
Crazy. Well, I have some historical significance with the Mariners. So in 2012, I was at the game where Felix Hernandez had his perfect game. Yes. And it was amazing. It was so much fun. I was there with about 15 girlfriends. It was a girls' day at the Mariners game. And it was so fun. It was so exciting to be part of that, and just the energy around that. And my dad was an amazing baseball player, amazing pitcher. And he was so jealous that I was at that game. He was like, "You gotta be kidding me." And then 2 years later, I was also at the game for a girls' day when Iwakuma had his
no-hitter?
The no-hitter when he had his shutout. So I got to be there for both of those games, which I don't know.
Could you go to every game once they start up again, please?
And here's the thing. We love baseball, but we don't go to a ton of games. If we go to games, we oftentimes will go to Tacoma and watch the Rainiers play. It's just a little bit more of an intimate environment to watch baseball, and I like watching the up-and-coming players. But I go to a Mariners game like maybe once or twice a year. I always go with my girlfriends, and then usually there's another opportunity too that falls in place. So it's not like I'm there for every game. I just am really lucky.
You're picking the right games to go to then.
Yeah. Me and my friend, the 2 of us that were at both of these, we every time we go, we always tweet them and say, "We were at these games. Your good luck charms are here." They retweet us. They do. They retweet us. They believe in that. They believe in our charm. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say Edgar because for softball I chose 11 a lot. That was my number. And then at one of our tournaments, they did an opening ceremony thing, and they had us do skits. And our team decided to recreate the '95 slide. And so
Yay!
I was actually playing Edgar, and so
That's awesome.
It was
Dave
cool.
Niehaus.
They had Dave Niehaus playing the audio clip on the radio, and the girls would boo an imaginary pitch and then an imaginary swing, and the girl would come around in the second, round and third, and sliding in, and everyone would mob Edgar and Junior at home plate, and it was kind of fun. It was one of the better skits at that tournament. It was pretty cool.
I miss Dave.
That's awesome. Yeah, he is definitely the voice of the Mariners.
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever listened
Riz
to
is
him,
good.
Yeah, but if you've ever listened to him, you can't get that voice out of your head.
Mm-mm.
You can hear it. Yeah. Man, what a great walk down history this morning. I did not expect to do that. So thank you for the field trips, Luhrings.
Yes, it was fun.
yeah.
I love it. All right. Well, before we wrap, anything else?
My dog turns 1 on Sunday.
Party time.
Ozark.
Yeah.
Do you ever call him like Ozzy or Ozzy, or is it just Ozark?
We call him Ozzy, Posey.
Oh,
Yeah, he's got all sorts of nicknames.
I like that.
If
Well,
he's digging in the yard, bad dog, you know. Typical.
yeah. Yeah, we have that a lot lately. Our little dog is, for some reason, thinks she's like a 6-month-old puppy. She's old, but thinks she's going to act like that till she dies. But now I'm home with her all day. So it's like, okay, I've had enough.
What's going to happen when all the people are not home with their dogs all day? Their dogs are getting used to someone being there. Kind of like in the movie Pets, you know, when the family leaves and the pets can play around.
Yeah, and they're like, party time.
They're like, when are these people going to leave?
My dogs will just be happy to be able to bark whenever they want. Because right now we're like, be quiet. We're on a Zoom meeting. Yeah. So, you know, fun times. All right, you guys. I think
That was awesome.
Hey, Rylie. Awesome. Thanks for being here today.
Yeah.
Mr. Luhring, you're pretty cool too, but
I know. I know where the
stick with my
popularity
lady.
comes.
Yeah. So
Hey, Rylie, what school do you go to?
I go to Wilson High School in Tacoma.
woo woo.
Oh,
Yes, Rams.
Represent.
Yeah, Rams controlling the ground, our Hawks controlling the sky. I like it.
Yep.
You can tag team. I like it. I like it. All right, you guys. I think that's a wrap on this week. So
All right.
enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend. And we'll be back to do it again next week.
Peace out.
Nine.
No, double hand wave.
Oh, but get it like with the 9.
Oh,
It's
hey,
episode
and by the
9.
way, Simmons, little Simmy, I outdid her in shoes.
No way.
You counted?
Hey. Yes, I've got 16 pairs of tennis shoes that I wear still.
Do you include your cleats?
No, I did not include golf shoes, cleats, just sneakers.
Snowshoes?
No,
Just sneakers. Whenever we drive to Pullman or back, we usually stop at North Bend and he buys a pair of tennis shoes. And when we were down in California for Christmas, he bought holiday ones.
He
I
showed us. He was so proud of those things.
I kind of convinced him. I was like, dude, you need those.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I actually have wanted a pair of like the New Balance comes out with running shoes that are like themed for perfect certain times of the year, but
Yeah.
I haven't been able to pull the trigger because they're pretty expensive. But
well, see, when your feet stop growing, I figure I can wear those for years to come and just wear them for a couple weeks at a time.
yeah, I should do that. Okay, next year I'm doing it. I want the St. Patrick's Day ones though because I like green. Anyway.
Mix them up. Lots of different varieties.
Yeah. Okay. We gotta go.
All right.
All right. Good seeing you guys.
Take
Bye,
care.
everyone.